Let's talk about the Pixel 8a. And after having used and owned it for a solid 8 months, if you've been eyeing the Pixel 8a or just wondering if it's still worth getting in 2025, stick around because I have a lot to say. And so without taking much of your time, yo guys, let's get started. Now let's start with durability because after 8 months, that's what really matters. The matte plastic bag surprisingly still looks new. No major scratches and definitely way better than the glossy plastic phones that turn into fingerprint magnets. No creaking, no flex, still feels premium in the hand. When it comes to the buttons here, I'd say they still are clicky, though the power button on my device here has softened a little bit, and that's because of daily use. And I have to say, I actually prefer the rounder edges and rounder side combination compared to the sharper ones on some recent devices. It just feels better and nicer in the hand. But some of the downsides I've noticed with this device, the 8a, would include talking about the fingerprint scanner. It's not great. It works, don't get me wrong. Maybe because it's the optical type rather than the ultrasonic, it isn't as accurate. I think I've seen better optical scanners elsewhere. You might want to also add in the face unlock feature to easily get into this phone as it's there. Just know that that's not the most secure, and in low light, it's a hit or miss. Then there's the bezels. They were way too big on the smartphone when it launched, and guess what? They're still big now. I don't want it seeming like I'm just bashing this device. I love how it feels in the hand. I really do love the size too. Now the speakers on this device are solid, and after months of use, they are still pumping out clear, crisp audio. The stereo setup makes watching content enjoyable, but bass lovers might want a bit more depth. Overall, for a mid-range smartphone, there's no complaint here. Now the display. The OLED panel is still gorgeous. No burn-in, which is a relief considering older Pixels had that issue. The 2000 nits of peak brightness is wild for a phone at this price point, and it still looks fantastic even outdoors. When it comes to the colors, they are fine. Nothing crazy, but definitely solid. But here's the thing, you need a screen protector. This is Gorilla Glass 3, and I learned the hard way when I dropped the Pixel 7a and cracked the screen last month. And while the 120Hz refresh rate still makes everything smooth, I did notice a few updates that caused minor stutters. Thankfully, patches fixed most of them. I'll be honest, when I first got the smartphone, I wasn't thrilled with the performance. Apps hung, gaming felt meh, and I just wasn't sold on the Tensor G3 chipset, especially for this device. But here's the good news. We're now on Android 15 and updates have smoothened things out big time. The UI is more responsive, multitasking feels snappier, and even gaming has improved. That said, it's not a gaming beast. Call of Duty still runs on medium settings, but play for a long time and you start feeling some thermal throttling. It's manageable, but if gaming is a top priority for you, you might want to look somewhere else. One thing I have to mention is Google's 7-year software support, and that's wild. This smartphone is going to outlast most other mid-rangers just because of that alone. The battery life has actually been amazing thanks to the phone learning and adapting to your use case. When I first got this device, I got about 5 to 6 hours screen on time. Now it's still about the same 5 hours screen on time. I mean, I don't do a lot on this device. Now, I don't think my screen on time really matters here since this device will learn and optimize to your use pattern. You'll probably get a different number. And when it comes to charging, oh, it's bad. The 18 watts wire charging is painfully slow, and the 7 watts wireless charging, don't even bother. It's the worst I've ever seen. After having charged for about 40 minutes, I got 39% on this smartphone. And with the wireless charging, which is 7 watts, don't even bother. If you're always in a hurry, the slow charging speed will drive you nuts. Now let's get into the real selling point, the cameras. The Pixel 8a is still killing it here. Daytime photos are absolutely stunning. Google's processing magic makes every shot look fantastic. I can't even count the number of times I pull out this smartphone and take photos that are absolutely what I intended. This is one of the best at what it does for the price point and form factor if you ask me in terms of photos. When it comes to night sights, still one of the best out there, no competition. Okay, let's say you captured shots. There are a bunch of AI features like Magic Eraser, the best take that will make photography super fun for you. And when it comes to videos, well, it's good, and that's if you have good lighting. When you go for low light video, I'm not the biggest fan here, even though it gets the job done. Generally, as far as the photos from the Google Pixel 8a, I'd really like to say this is up there in its class. Long term, software is where the Pixel really shines. Android 15 runs great on this device, and the 7-year update promise makes the smartphone future-proof. Google's AI features like circle to search, call screening, they make everyday use even better. That said, some updates did introduce weird bugs like UI bugs, but Google has been quick with patches over time, making the smartphone one of the best improved as far as its performance from the start. There's also Gemini integrated for our AI, since that's what every smartphone manufacturer is currently talking about. Now let's talk about the pricing. Right now, the Google Pixel 8a is going for about $350 or 600,000 naira roughly, and honestly, that's a solid deal. If you want a compact phone with clean software, a fantastic camera, and long software support, this is one of the best options out there. So, after all this time, is the Pixel 8a still worth it? Absolutely. If you want an Android smartphone that nails the essentials, amazing cameras, a clean software experience, and years of updates, this is an easy recommendation. But let's be real, the slow charging, the fingerprint issues, those are annoying. Face unlock still unreliable in low light. All that being said, if you want a better all-rounder, you might want to consider the Samsung Galaxy S23 FE for about the same price now. It might not be the photo camera level good, but as far as a lot of things like the battery, the display, and even build quality, it's up there. You can check out my review on the S23 FE here. You'll find it helpful. Also, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'ma catch you in the next one. Kui that day.